Hello and welcome to our video on social connection. My name is Brian Adams. I am a marriage and family therapist trainee at Family Concern Counseling under the Youth for Christ umbrella here in the Central Valley. I appreciate you joining us. We are all kind of dealing with this situation now where we are isolated. This social distancing measure that we have to combat the virus is kind of locking us inside of our own homes, limiting our options that we've grown accustomed to in terms of entertainment and dining and social interaction. So I wanted to take some time and talk about social connection theory. This social connection theory is one that posits that our interactions with other people, physically, emotionally, socially, are the building blocks to a healthy frame of mind. Recent studies have shown that a lack of social isolation can decrease your mental health and your physical health. So prolonged distancing from our social networks can actually increase our anxiety and our depression, or even introduce it into somebody who didn't have issues with that before. Having constant social interaction in a healthy way with the people that we love, the people that we know, the people that we're surrounded with, has actually been shown to increase not just our mental health, but it actually powers up our immune system and makes it easier to fight off infections. So it's kind of ironic that this major step that we're taking to fight the virus could, over time, over a sustained length of time, may actually weaken our physical ability to fight it off. So what does it mean for us? Sometimes social connection theory is talked about in different ways. So many of us have heard pros and cons for isolation in prisons. So like solitary confinement and what effect that can have on an inmate's mental health. It can cause regression if they had mental health issues and they were making progress in their therapy in the general population, in groups and things like that. Solitary confinement can actually cause them to regress back to where they started from. It can exacerbate existing mental health issues, such as psychosis, severe anxiety, things like that. And that's even in a prison where somebody's social interactions are limited, and the ones that they do have are typically with elements of society that are not the most healthy. So what does it do to somebody who their social network is healthy, to some extent at least, and where we still do have some limited ability to explore our environment and connect with the people around us? We don't have this solitary confinement that we're dealing with, but we are isolated, we are shut inside. And those of us that have family, that have spouses or significant others or children in the home, while we love them, we are not used to being with them 24 hours a day. It's kind of a flip side to, normally when we talk about our work, when we talk about our jobs, most of us find things to complain about, reasons why we'd rather not be at work. The boss is a jerk, our coworkers are annoying, the deadlines are too severe, there's just no possible way that they could expect anybody to accomplish what you're supposed to accomplish in the time you have to do it in. The hours are too long, you have to get up too early, or not home until too late. Whatever that is. And now that we are on the other side of that, where now we don't have to go to work. Many of us, we are staying at home or working from home. Now we have a new set of issues that we're dealing with, and we don't necessarily have the tools to deal with those issues that we've built up, say, for work. Over years and decades of going to work, we've developed these tools to help insulate us from the monotony, or coping mechanisms for calming down when the boss is about to fire up, when the boss is about to call you in and give you a talking to about your productivity at work. And so you kind of build these mental exercises that help you deal with the emotions that come up when that happens. Being at home, all of a sudden, you don't have to deal with that, or at least as much. But now you're dealing with trying to accomplish the things you need to do while you have kids tugging at you and yelling and running around in the background, or you just have normal distractions. Normally when I'm at home and I'm sitting in this spot, I'm watching TV. So now if I'm staring at a computer screen or trying to make client calls, that blank TV is really calling to you, and you want to maybe just flip it on, just out of a sense of habit. So we are experiencing our own type of confinement. We do have many more rights and opportunities than an inmate in solitary confinement, but it can feel the same. And solitary confinement itself has been compared to physical torture in terms of what it can do to somebody mentally and physically. So when we as social beings are essentially cut off from the majority of those that we connect with on a day-to-day basis, it can have pretty severe impacts on the way that we think, and it can exacerbate existing anxiety and depression if we were already dealing with that. Now we have less to distract ourselves with. We have less people, or we feel like we have less people to reach out to and really connect with. So we just kind of have to sit in it. So we're kind of locked into these four walls, and we're just sitting with all of our issues rather than having the option of getting out, of having fun, of engaging in a hobby or talking to a friend. So what can we do about it? Social connection theory is the theory that the fundamental building blocks of a healthy psyche are emotional and physical interactions with those around us. So what can we do? Physically, we're generally cut off if we're trying to be safe and we're trying to be healthy. We are not hugging, we're not kissing, we're not even high-fiving, anything like that. So what else can we do? There has been an upsurgence of use of all of these face-to-face apps, Zoom, FaceTime, anything like that you're using. Use those, take advantage of those, reach out to your social group, reach out to your classmates, to your coworkers, to your friends, to your family. The more sensory input you can give yourself while you're talking to them, the better. So try not to do emails or texts. Those are typically the most emotionally distanced forms of communication that we have. Yes, they're quick. Yes, they're easy. They're the thing that you're going to talk yourself out of less. But they also have the least amount of stimulus for our brain. When you go face to face with somebody and you can hear their voice and you can see their face and you can watch their reactions and you can laugh with them, there are games that you can play online while talking and while seeing each other face to face. All of those things are going to come close to simulating what your day-to-day interactions with them would be, and it's going to help your brain process the isolation more and deal less and less with this feeling of being completely alone. While it may feel like we're socially isolated, socially we're connected through this experience that we're all having collectively. Everybody that you can think of to call or talk to is to some level experiencing the same thing that you are. They're having the same sort of impact on their mental health. They're locked indoors as well. So it's important to remember that you're not going through this alone and to reach out. You may also reach out to local groups and organizations. Any sort of support groups are going to be online at this point. Gaming groups are typically going to be online at this point. So if you want to find a gaming group, something like that is really great to get your mind off of what's going on, provide a distraction and some human interaction for you. It would be great for you to reach out to a mental health professional. If you're already seeing a counselor, chances are they've switched to online to some extent, and they'll be able to see you from the safety of your own home without having to risk going out, without having to risk exposing yourself at all. If you don't already have one, some basic searches will turn up some great local community organizations that are set up to start seeing people online and help you talk to somebody and process through what you're going through and understand that this is a temporary thing. This is not a forever thing. It may feel that way right now, but this is something that you can get through, and there are people out there to help process it. In closing, I'll just encourage you to stay connected. Reach out to those that you love. Put thought into what you say and who you say it to. Remember that we are all in this together. we can all help each other through this. And just maybe we might learn something about ourselves and our need for our social interaction, and we may appreciate our friends in our social group a little bit more once we get out of this. There should be some information at the beginning and the end of this video if you'd like to reach out to Family Concern Counseling or Youth for Christ. We are offering mental health services. We can work online. Our offices are open if you'd like to come in person. So just reach out to us. Make sure you take care of yourself and be well, and love those that are counting on you for your support.